Hello and welcome back to this series, What If? Contemplations for Life Transformation. And today we're going to get really down and nitty gritty with it and say, what if I said no? Now, even just saying that word no reminds me of being a mother and having been told no by my parents, no, don't do that, the whole finger pointing exercise. No is so religiously associated with something that's bad that no wonder so many of us feel uncomfortable putting boundaries in and saying no, sometimes to ourselves, sometimes to those close around us, sometimes to our clients, to our colleagues. And there's this perception that saying no is bad, it's greedy, it's rude. And so let's ask ourselves today, is that true? So just as a reminder, I do use my blog script because I want to make sure that we're in alignment, and I will put the link to the blog in the bottom of this video because you can go over, you can grab the exercises and the mantra and just print them out and help yourself to go through these contemplations day by day. So is saying no selfish, or is it actually necessary to create the life that you really, really want? How would your life be different if you said no more often? Are you horrified at the thought of saying no to somebody? And what I want to add in there is that sometimes no isn't an actual N-O, right? Sometimes no is, I don't know that I agree with that. Sometimes no is, I don't want to let that in, right? So let's not get caught up in that the no has to be an N-O, that no can come to us in lots of different ways. Do you feel compelled to say yes when your emotional compass, your inner self, your body is screaming, say no? And before you know it, that yes has fallen out of your tongue, and you know that the impact it's going to have on you is going to be physical, mental, or emotionally, or all of the above, draining for you. The truth of the matter is many of us are having our life stolen, our time stolen, our dreams stolen, and compressed by the wants and needs of other people. What if you decided that you need to prioritise you and your dreams and your needs and your desires? Can you, in all honesty, say that you can do that without saying no more often? So what does saying no mean to you? Perhaps your upbringing, like we said, taught you that saying no was rude. Maybe you consider yourself a born nurturer, particularly if your sacred money archetype has a nurturer in the top 3. You are very, very compelled to put other people before yourself. Or maybe when you say no, you're scared of the comeback, that the unwanted attention that comes back on you, and you've got to justify why you've said that. But let's be honest as well. Like I said, how many times as a parent have you said, or as a child have you heard no, with a tap on the hand or a smack on the leg or or a pointy finger? So when we're growing up, particularly, no implies bad, right? What if you said no to unhappiness? If you're feeling unhappy in your life right now, maybe unfulfilled, what does it look like to say no to that? What if you didn't accept that anymore? Even if you didn't know how to change it, what if you said no to accepting it? What would immediately change for you? Perhaps there's a relationship that you need to end, or you need to go and have a word with your boss and say that something's not right at work. Maybe you want to get a new hobby, or maybe spend more time with those that you love. Or maybe you just need to spend more time with more people. So from personal experience, being a woman business owner, or just a business owner in general, who does so much of her work online, you can get cocooned in your own space. But what if you said no to that? What if you reached out to more people? What if you said no to feeling lonely? Perhaps you might want to get a coach or a therapist, maybe, or maybe you need to take steps to improve your health, your mindset, or your finances. But if right now you gave yourself permission to be happy, what does that look like? Another question you might want to consider when it comes to sort of creating the life that you really, really want and what you're saying no to often is, what if you said no to putting yourself last? In my money coaching, I work with women, like I've just said, that have sacred money archetype, but they have nurture in their top 3. And they're so driven, almost like an innate drive to always put other people first. But all that happens is that they don't make the money that they want to make. They're exhausted from over-delivering and undercharging. And they can start to become a little bit resentful because no one's actually seeing that they're giving. It's my job as a coach then to help them to understand that it's up to them to put the boundaries in, to put themselves first. And again, as a woman, I think it's much more difficult for us to do that because we are born nurturers, we are mothers, and we are natural carers. Some of us more natural than others. But nonetheless, it can really be a challenge to say, no, I'm putting myself first. So, you know that saying about giving from an empty cup? And maybe you've heard of Wayne Dyer's quote. When Wayne Dyer said, you can only give what's within inside. And he used the analogy of an orange. He said, you don't squeeze an orange and expect lemon juice to come out. You get orange juice. So if you have filled yourself up, if you have those boundaries in place, if you're very clear about what it is that you want, you give that power back out. You deliver from a space of being full. And your whole life changes and the whole perception and energy around you changes. Giving yourself permission to say no, this time is for me, is a powerful lesson in self-love. It is not an act of selfishness. No, this isn't making me happy. No, this isn't fulfilling me. No, this isn't expanding me. It's an exercise of self-reflection and an invitation for growth and happiness. When I wrote that, some of you will know that when I write blogs, I'm very often kind of like not in the conscious realm, so it kind of just comes out. And I really realised that when we say no to something, you'll often hear saying no to one thing is a yes to something else. But it is that moment of self-reflection, because to say no, that emotional compass that you have has said to you, something's not in alignment, something's not right. What is that? We can take a step back and say, right, it's that. I'm not getting enough time to myself. I'm too busy looking after everybody else. I'm really not happy in my career anymore. My business has evolved and I've been left behind. Saying no to those things gives you a chance to create something new, something more fulfilling for you. So is it wrong not to be satisfied? Can you say no to your current situation? I was brought up with this a very prominent saying, just be, with the finger, just be grateful for what you've got. So no wonder I couldn't choose to pick anything else, because I thought that that was wrong. I thought that not being totally and utterly grateful and satisfied with what I had was wrong. But of course, yes, gratitude is the doorway to receiving. We know that the minute we open that door and we start expressing gratitude for everything we have, whether maybe all we have right now is the breath in our body, the minute we give gratitude for that, we open the door to receiving more of what we want and need. But satisfied, however, can trap us into what we have and never strive for more. So I want to share this quote for you from Benjamin Franklin. Without continual growth and process, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. So, what if you said no to being satisfied with your current situation? If you gave yourself permission to say, I am so deeply grateful for what I have, but I want to find out what else is available for me, and I want to experience the most joy, the most abundance, the most growth, the most fulfillment that I can, how does that feel? I want you to tweet this out. This is in the blog. Saying no to what doesn't serve you lets you say yes to what thrills you. How fantastic is that? Once again, I want to bring you back to this whole thing in this What If series. It's a practice. Now when I say what if I trust, I literally feel my whole physical, mental, spiritual body just let go. And in that space, again, in that space of surrender and letting go, we open that doorway to receive what the universe is trying to deliver us, but we're so blinkered that we're saying, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. All right? So I'm going to tell you that again. Saying no to what doesn't serve you lets you say yes to what thrills you. So let me go through the exercise for today's episode, and then we are going to go on to the mantra, and I will put the link into the notes at the bottom of this video. As always, being honest with your current situation is a starting point for change. So ask yourself these questions. Number one, where have I said yes in my past that has led to a current situation that doesn't feel good or it doesn't feel right? And that decision could have been years ago. Where am I continuing where am I continuing to say yes and perpetuating this situation that I don't want? So maybe you're saying yes to a long-term relationship and you're miserable and you're depressed and you're trapped and you're lost and you're frustrated and you're tired and you're angry. But you keep saying yes to stay because saying no means that you've got to take some big, bold action. Question number 3, what specifically must I say no to in order to make this change? What you'll find out throughout this series is that when we take action, there has to be a definite purpose and a specificity so that our brain goes, right, I know what I'm doing. And let that come from your emotions, let that come from your heart when you know those decisions. Remember that sometimes this means saying no to yourself. So identify and changing unhelpful and destructive behaviours. Maybe it's in your diet, maybe it's again in relationships, maybe it's something that you know not serving you, but it's totally down to you. There is nobody else involved. Refusing to be distracted by when you know you need to focus. Saying no to playing small. Saying no to believing in money blocks. Saying no to putting a limit on your success. Saying no to somebody telling you what you're capable of. Where do you need to say no in order to take your life to the next level? Is this a high or low energy investment for me? So let's take, when I said to you before, we can get time compressed by the wants and needs of other people. And somebody says, can you do this for me? Can we meet up? Can we? So is that a high or low energy investment for you? And when can I realistically afford to give this time without detriment to myself? So sometimes I've had to say to friends, family, no, I can't do that, but let me get my diary now and we'll schedule that in for a couple of weeks. You have to prioritise what is most important to you. So if your business means that you're going to earn an income, that means you can look after your children, your parents, whatever, private healthcare, all those kind of things, and you know that you are already got a good time with your parents and your family, but you can't just skip this thing right now. It's okay to say no. What benefit is it to me, or is it purely for the benefit of another? And I can feel people going, oh my God, that's so selfish. No, it's not. Because as you go along your journey with focus, with clarity, with speed, with determination, you will inspire others to do the same. You will change your life and earn more money to help more people. You'll be able to teach them the way. But you can't do that if you've got the weight of 20 people behind you that want you to drag them along, that want you to say yes to everything that they want, even though they know that it's stopping you from doing what you want. There is always a caveat to that. So if my parents or my children needed anything from me that was important, I would drop everything right now to go do that. But maybe I wouldn't drop it just to go and have a cup of tea and a slice of cake, because I do that every week anyway. Is this important to me? Is this important to me? If somebody wants to have a conversation with you, but it's really not important, do you need to have it? Is it wrong to say, look, I really don't have time for that now. Can we schedule something later? Or it's not really in my agenda right now. It has to be important to you in some way. Now, that may be because the person's important to you, which is fine. Maybe somebody needs to kind of like have a conversation with you about something that they're struggling with in their life. But what if you've had that conversation 100 times with them and nothing ever changes? Is it time to say, no, I'm not doing this again? Let me refer you to, a specialist that I know, as an example. And is this any way related to the progress that I require in my own life? Is it in the direction where you're going? If not, maybe it's not a chance to do it. No is not selfish. It's just what we've been learned to believe. It's allowing you to decide this is a yes now. It's a yes, but just not yet. Let's schedule that time in. Or is it an outright no? One final thing to say on this is that you cannot extend any thought or energy into how will the other person or other people involved take this, because we can't ever make assumptions about how anybody else is going to feel or how they're going to perceive a situation or a conversation. You simply have to have a deep belief in what you're worth, a conviction in why you're saying no. Say it with compassion and love and let it go and trust that all will be well. So your mantra for today's episode is, it is safe and powerful for me to say no. It is safe and powerful for me to say no. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. Would love to hear your comments, so you can drop the comments under the video, which would be awesome. I am always happy and pleased when people share it, so please do that. Go over to the blog, write a comment on the blog, and if you like it, share it and tell other people about it, because together we can change everything. So until tomorrow, have a great day. Bye-bye.